freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock. On the phone, we have Bill Fletcher. He is advocating for the working man. The working man. You know, we've got to have some kind of equality as we're going up against the man with the job, the corporation, the big giant monopoly granted government gave them. They get the rule over us. And, how do you balance against that? What do you do? Well, in the past, we've had to where employers, they lock you out and you keep trying to come on their property or prevent them from doing business, and they just machine gun you. You know, well, this is, so you get going back. And what was the proper role of government? Protect property rights. The laborer owns his labor, and an employer owns his business, you would think. But now we're getting into another issue. We kind of explain each other's positions, I'm sure. But, Bill, I want to ask you about what's going on in Wisconsin and the other states, because the problem is here we have a different situation to where the state government is wanting to have the ability not to be forced into this bargaining with a union, and it's a monopoly of a service. It's not really like a business. Here you don't have a choice. And I remember when I'm a young man graduating high school in 79, it's the 80s, Reagan's in there, and the aviation traffic control guys, said, hey, we on strike, why? He goes, you're fired. There, problem solved. And I'm going, wow, that went over kind of, bad with some people, but a lot of people were supportive of it, and he got away with it. So now we're looking at the state governments. I tell you one big reason, because they don't have a financial choice. But what is it that you're advocating, that the local governments have to deal with collective bargaining unions? Or what are you advocating?
Yeah, no, see, the thing is, I think part of the difference that we have is that there's an internationally recognized right to collectively bargain, which means that you need to be able to do that free of intimidation. And that intimidation could be intimidation from, a Soviet bureaucracy in Poland in the 1980s, or intimidation from an apartheid bureaucracy in South Africa in the 1980s. But it also can be free of the intimidation that comes here in this country when people are threatened constantly with being fired. Now, in the case of Wisconsin,
but that makes it not the employer's business. You can't get past that with me. I mean, you're still advocating that the person that created the job, not filled the job, created the job, doesn't really own it. And then you wonder why manufacturing goes out of this country.
I don't accept the premise.
Okay, well, let me tell you what premise you're going to get.
The people, the
businesses are leaving this country for this reason. Guarantee it. Gone, and they're not coming back. I'm telling you.
Businesses are coming to this country. If you were to fly to South Carolina and drive along I-85, and you will find businesses coming to this country. This is a very different world.
And they go to these states where there aren't unions. They go to these states where they have low labor. They go to the places where they can make a profit.
Where they can drive us down. What it's called is the race to the bottom. And the problem is that when you talk about it, you're interfering with the employer. Well, first of all, the question is, where do people get this money from in the first place? What kind of tax benefits do they get in order to set up a business? And when they are being protected by the state, the government, then it seems that the right should also be for the working person.
Oh, you're not getting me advocating for state helping anybody doing anything. Let's go ahead and take your premise there. Let's assume I opened business, de la whatever, and I used all my money. It's my money, my money. Do I get to own that job, or am I supposed to be forced to collect a bargain?
It's not. You see, again, you're creating a straw man. I'm saying that the right exists for workers to collectively bargain. That means that they can vote to choose a union, and engage in negotiations with the employer. The negotiations
No,
may
you
lead to
have
a
the
deadlock.
ability to be able to negotiate with me, have a representative, but I don't have to negotiate with you. I mean, if I do that, it's not my business.
It is your business.
How is
because
it my
the workers-
business?
Because you're not talking about workers controlling your business. You're talking about engaging in bargaining. You're talking about protecting the basic right of workers to have a voice in their workplace and to bargain with their employer. That's
And what if
I'm
I don't like
talking
their
about.
voice?
You have disagreements. You have
You're
disagreements.
fired.
And no. And see, that's
I'm not.
the point.
See, I'm not.
because the
If I
employer-
can't fire somebody doing my job that I own, if I can't select who does that job, well, then it's not my job. It's not my business.
Yes, you can't fire someone for exercising their right to speak out and to collectively bargain.
Now,
That's
see,
what I'm talking
See,
about.
my thing is that if it's my job, I created it. I can fire anybody because I don't like the color. I don't like their haircut. I mean,
Right.
for whatever reason I can think of, and
Right.
and if I can't, then
And
it's
so
not really my job.
I would say to you that works at the point that we withdraw any kind of governmental assistance and governmental protection of your company. So no special
Amen.
police protection, no special police protection,
Amen.
no special anything for your company. And guess what? Let's see how long your company lasts.
You know what happens is that when you say special, if I have striking workers blocking the entrances and exits and they're
No, I'm
doing
not talking about-
vandalism, am
No,
I
no,
allowed
no,
to have
no.
police protection of damage my
Oh,
property?
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about anything else. Why should you have any special attention? Why should you get any special deals from a bank? Why should anything? Let's play it out, man. Because you're on a roll.
No, I'm hip. I don't
No,
want
you
any
are on a
special
roll.
anything.
And I love it. I love it. You're on a roll.
I want
So
no special.
No special protection
None.
for a company. And
No
you
bailouts.
see how long your company lasts.
No bailout. Then it shouldn't last. That's what bailouts are all about. I mean,
And the problem is that all of you free marketeers are the ones that basically say, we don't want government until we're in trouble. And then we're in trouble. No, where's the government? Where's the government? Where's the government?
no, that's the very definition of not being a free marketeer.
No, but the point is that's why I'm saying it's hypocrisy. I mean, let's just be real. You know and I know that some of the most strident advocates for the free market, the moment that they're in trouble, the very moment they start crying for government.
Well, then they're
But
not really.
Then they will attack someone who's been unemployed, who is starving, who is looking for some sort of assistance. Said, no. Well, you can't get help, but my company can get help. So I'm saying to you, for these people that say that they don't want the government involved, all right, fine. No special tax breaks to encourage your business. None.
Agreed.
No special assistance.
Amen, brother.
No, just forget all the government programs to promote your business. And you see, my friend, what happens.
Bad businesses go out of business. Yay.
No, but you see, if you look at the history of the country, that's not what's happened. The history of this country has been filled with
I agree with you there.
to promote companies.
I agree with you there. I agree, and that's one of the problems, if not one of the big problems. But the solution isn't, well, then therefore, collectively we own your job. I'm going, that's not going down to...
I'm saying protect
Hey,
the rights
it's
of
a
the
pleasure,
working man
Bill.
and woman.
They're going to push the button on us. Thanks for coming on. Bill Fletcher, blackcommentator.com. We'll be right back.